Coming up on DITV, the University of Iowa hosted its first candidate for Vice President of Research yesterday at the Iowa Memorial Union.
And later, DITV reporter Kate Overton has the story on a program that helps students and learning and study habits.
If you think courtside is good, wait till you see Matt's side. First ever show coming up in sports.
We got a storm coming across America, but it won't hit Iowa. Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Friday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Declan Levy.
And I'm Jacob Gunther.
The University of Iowa hosted its first Vice President of Research candidate, Jay Martinez Schultz, on Thursday afternoon. Schultz, the Executive Associate Vice President of Research at Texas A&M, is drawn to the UI because of his belief that it's way ahead of its peers in research. Schultz believes the UI needs to have infrastructure and culture in order to be the international leader in research. He also believes in building up the UI's core facilities and making sure researchers receive credit. For more information, visit dailyiowan.com.
Do you find yourself struggling in certain classes? Well, there might be programs for you to increase your learning and studying habits that the University of Iowa provides. DITV reporter Kate Overton has more.
The Iowa Memorial Union is home to many different organizations and businesses for the University of Iowa. Students come here to get some food, take a nap, and study for their classes. Supplemental Instruction is one university organization that helps students better themselves within the academic environment. It also gives students the opportunity to work in groups to understand the material better. Supplemental Instruction is located in the basement of the Memorial Union and is a way for students to get extra help from a peer instructor that has already excelled in that class. SI is offered for classes that have troubled students in the past, like college algebra or principles of chemistry. The sessions are informal, but research showed that attending one session is the same as studying for 2 hours on your own.
It's a lot of group-based collaborative learning, so I'm giving a lot of practice problems to students, not necessarily anything like going over homework as in office hours, but instead more based towards working together with other students.
Not only do students who attend supplemental instruction learn more efficient ways to study, the program's data shows that students who regularly attend their sessions get 1/3 of a letter grade better than those who do not.
From the Iowa Memorial Union, this is Kate Overton, DITV.
The polar vortex has caused a critical drop in blood donations in Iowa. Kirby Dubé, the donor recruitment coordinator at the DeGown Blood Center, said, quote, "We have seen a lot lower donation rates. Unfortunately, the need for blood never goes away. Usage always remains high. We're actually experiencing really high usage," end quote. Icy roads and freezing temperatures have made travel difficult, and several communities have had to postpone or cancel blood drives completely. With the decreased, blood centers have needed to dip into what is stocked on their shelves, and blood donations can only stay on the shelves for a certain amount of time, and specific types of blood are lacking, especially Group O blood. For more information on this story, visit dailyiowan.com.
An Iowa City Councilwoman said there is no foreseeable end to the parking struggles in downtown Iowa City. Iowa City is known for its lack of affordable parking, and City Councilwoman Mazier Salih says the students get the worst end of it, and it is one of the most common complaints she receives, but right now the council doesn't have any answers.
I don't see really a huge solution for the downtown area. Maybe if there is a new building has been like, also new building, maybe they can have under downstairs parking or somewhere, but I see that only on the downtown area, because if you drove like outside the downtown, you're gonna find plenty of parkings. I've been seeing that. Do you have a lot of constituents?
And with the recent winter weather, parking in Iowa City has gotten much more difficult. And honestly, Declan, I don't blame them. This has been just awful cold weather, up and down. It's just been absolutely crazy.
Yeah, there sure has been a lot of times where I've been looking for parking in that terrible weather, but let's toss it over to Dylan in the weather studio to tell us more about our forecast for the week. Dylan?
Yes, we got some more cold temperatures coming up. But first, this weekend, we have an icy storm coming across all of the United States. Now, as you can see here, it actually skips right under Iowa, and the low pressure system will actually not affect Iowa this weekend, but other parts of the West Coast and then throughout the Midwest, just below the south of Iowa. Now, as we look into today's forecast here in Iowa City, we have a cold temperature of 4 degrees with a slight wind chill in there. We do have partly cloudy skies, so you may see the sun a little bit. Now, as we move into tonight, our temperature rises a little bit as we get to 9 degrees with cloudy skies. Now, as we move into the extended forecast for the week, like I mentioned today, our high only gets up to 12 in the middle of the day. Tomorrow, we have partly cloudy skies with our high at around 21 degrees and a low of 18 degrees and no snow. Sunday, I hate to say it, but the snow comes back, so parking may be an issue. We have a high of 27 degrees and a low of around 17 degrees and a 70% chance of snow. Now on Monday, our partly cloudy skies come back with only a 20% chance of snow. Our highs are around 23 degrees and a low of around 9 degrees there. Now on Tuesday, to wrap up my 5-day forecast, we have partly cloudy skies again with our high at around 20 degrees and our low at 10 degrees. Well, as you can see, the temperatures get slightly better, but we still do have some snow in the forecast and upcoming as well. Jacob and Declan, back to you guys at the desk.
University of Iowa professor Christopher Roy died on Sunday at 71 years old. Roy was an African art history professor at the university for 41 years. He was also one of the first faculty members to adopt digital technology on campus. Roy put his research into a public digital format almost 30 years ago. His YouTube page has more than 10,000 subscribers. As well as being active with technology, Roy was very active with newer faculty in the art department, always looking to make the new faculty feel welcome and involved.
We have an update on the civil case with Kirk Ferentz and his neighbors. Previously, we had mentioned that the Ferentzes were going to court over a conflict they have had with their neighbors about shrubbery and neighbors' repairs. In 2017, Ferentz had reported to a judge that he and the neighbors had reached a settlement about paying their share of the repairs, but that fell apart. The case is now headed to the Iowa Supreme Court. The judge will decide on their verdict in 2 months. Well, Jacob, a big weekend ahead in sports, but more importantly, we have John telling us about the wrestling team. John, let's hear it from.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to the first ever Matt Side Show. I'm your good-looking host, Jonathan Rawson. But before I talk wrestling, women's hoops hosted Illinois last night. Megan Gustafson was back at it after winning her 11th Big Ten Player of the Week award. She earned 27 points and 17 boards in only 28 minutes. Mackenzie Meyer made her return to the court after suffering a knee injury against Penn State and didn't skip a beat. Hawks roll 88-66.
Megan tonight becomes the Big Ten all-time career double-double person. So that's pretty cool that she just claimed another one of those records that had stood for quite a while, and that she continues to dominate in the scorebook.
The women's basketball team will be back in action on Sunday to face the top team in the Big Ten, Maryland. But the women's hoops team isn't the only Hawkeye team at home this weekend. That's right, wrestling is in town to host Indiana today at 7 for senior night. But I would like to dedicate this Matt Side show to former sports director Bo Bowman, because without him teaching me the ways of the wrestling world, things would be a whole lot different. And I would probably still think Iowa was a basketball state. This one's for you, Bo. Now, Iowa's Austin DeSanto was slated to make his return to Carver after his one-meet suspension. The DeSanto shenanigans started in Minnesota against 8th-ranked Ethan Lezak, who called him out on Twitter in the offseason. DeSanto won the match, spit on the mat, and then taunted the Minnesota fans, who were far from pleased with his antics. But the last time DeSanto was in Carver Hawkeye Arena, he upset 3rd-ranked Nick Suriano with a last-second takedown, then screamed in his face. Tom Brands then ran onto the mat to save his wrestler, but sent him back to shake hands while he relished in the glory. And the most recent DeSanto antic was when he was last on the mat against Brian Peska of Nebraska, where he tossed up a thumbs up to the Iowa bench and took Peska down for the tech fall. Then DeSanto taunted the Nebraska bench and for all his fun was slapped with a one-match suspension. But DeSanto could make his return in Carver, where he is in the process of becoming an Iowa icon. We will only know for sure when they send the wrestler out for 133, but my money is on a DeSanto return. However, today is senior night, and DeSanto is not a senior. So instead, I should share my favorite senior story, the story of Mitch Bowman.
Bowman, same thing. I mean, both Bowman and Perez, you know, their investment is significant because they're walk-ons. They took a chance. They could have went other places. Bowman was recruited by some Ivy League schools.
I've always been a Hawkeye since the day I was born. My family loves Iowa. I love Iowa. And it's just the dream of every Iowa kid coming up wrestling is wrestle for the Hawkeyes, you know, continue the legacy of the program.
And we needed that in our program, and he's been a journeyman. I mean, look at, he's wrestled 3 weight classes this year. Forget about his career.
It's been crazy. I mean, it's definitely been a lot of ups and downs. And I mean, like, I've been from 74 to heavyweight. I've had a couple of knee injuries, a couple of shoulder injuries, and it's been crazy, but it's been great. I mean, that's what life's about. It's about facing adversity and then coming out a stronger person at the end of the day.
It's always great to see hard work pay off, and another Hawkeye senior has also put in hard work. 125-pounder Perez has faced the likes of Thomas Gilman, Corey Clark, Spencer Lee, and Austin DeSanto every day in practice. The respect he deserves is far more than he gets. Speaking of having respect, I have massive respect for what Sam Stoll did during media availability on Tuesday, where he asked the question we all wanted to know.
Tom Brands, who's the best looking Hawkeye you ever coached?
The one that shaves his head on a regular daily basis, and it's shaved cleanly.
You got a name?
His name is Sam Stoll.
Beautiful. That's all from me. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, I've had my fun. Time to preview this duel. To put it lightly, Indiana has struggled. They're 4-10 overall and 1-6 in the Big Ten. They also have no ranked wrestlers in their probable lineups for tonight. Iowa, on the other hand, 9. All but senior journeyman Mitch Bowman are ranked. I do think the Hawkeyes have a chance of pulling off another shutout, but things do happen. My prediction is the third-ranked Hawkeyes will walk away with only 1 blemish and a 39-3 victory. But that's it for me on this first ever Mad Side Show. Jacob and Declan, the floor is yours.
Thanks, John. Well, it is Friday, and that means it's time for the ICAC Animal of the Week. This is reserved for that one special animal at the Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center who is ready to meet their new family.
Drumroll, please. This week's furry friend is Chili. Chili is a 1-year-old Duluth Tory who loves the indoors. She is open to all sorts of relationships and can get along with other cats, children, and even dogs. Chili is young, so she's looking for a long-term companion that will love and support her for years to come. Are you looking to spice up your life? Chili might just be the cat for you.
For more information about Chili, check out the ICA website, call the phone number, or go give her a visit. God, Chili, I love that name. Well, thank you for tuning into this Friday morning of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out the print edition on newsstands right now.
For DITV, I'm Jacob Gunther.
And I'm Declan Levy. Have a great day, Iowa City.